Yep, we're going to go to Babbage, and then we're going to go to that first station in Sothis, then we're going to go to Hippolytus Hub. Material Traders Day.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. Observe station regulations on exit.
So thank you for joining me for my Elite Dangerous, the day-to-day grind. Material traders. We need to move some materials around so we can complete our armor upgrade. Our armor upgrade on all the ships. While in remote workshop, after going to Celine Jean and unlocking the grade 5 armor, I used up some of the material, so now we need to make our rounds to the material traders, and those that are near 0 or say under 20, we need to bump up over 20. The ones that are under 20, we probably need to go to about 50. Just to make sure we have enough to finish our remote workshop on all of the ships. So we're in our Python travel because it has the fuel scoop, the extra fuel tank. Because the Brunel and the small station in Sothis are not going to take that much, but when we go out to Hippolytus Hub for the raw materials, because that's the closest raw material trader, and that's near Dab's Hope, it's going to take a little more. So be sure to look to the bottom of the video to the right and you'll see the subscribe button. And there's a misconception that subscribing to a YouTube channel will cost you money. It does not. It's all free unless you go with a premium version. But you would have purposely paid for that up front. I think it's a monthly charge on that one. But the free version, like the button that's on the lower right of your video, is the free version. And press that and you'll be notified when I create more videos. And it'll help me out with YouTube eventually. I appreciate all the subscribers that I have so far. And to me it's quite a few, but to YouTube it's not. I need 16 times more subscribers just to start getting funding from YouTube. So I need your help because creating over 650 videos is very expensive and very time consuming. And that's just since January, so that's just a little over 4 months. Says left. And I believe this one is the raw materials trader. I mean the manufactured, when I say raw. Raw is Hippolytus Hub. Encoded is that first small station there in Sothis. Now, my brain is thinking one thing and my mouth says another sometimes.
forces are prepped for your arrival. Greetings, Commander.
Sys left. Need to get past this first ring before we hit the request, or sometimes it'll run into that ring, and that's not a good thing.
Request approved. You are clear for approach to pad 20. Automated docking assist is now in progress.
Fix my volume. Okay, I think that's better. I'm not an audio expert, but I just try to make it okay, the best I can. I have had one comment that the gain is too high, and I'm still trying to figure all that out. So we go down contacts, we go to material trader, and what we're searching for is those that are below 20. Like this one. Yeah, but I don't think that's the one, because that's kind of one we collect on. Yeah, I don't think it's encoded, that's the problems. I'll give that one a little bit more. So I think we're pretty good on oh, that's the encode. Okay, excuse me, I got it reversed. It's encoded at Brunel and it's manufactured at the other one. Sys left. Go over to Sothis system. And it's this first small station that has the manufactured Valinsky. Before we exit, let's just make sure this one's okay though. We just go up to armor, lightweight, and it's maxed out. So we're good on this ship. But we're having to move some materials around. Auto launch. So we're making the material trader round. This is why we collect materials. When we do planetary exploration and we go to Dav's Hope and Jameson crash site, this is the reason we do that. One of the reasons. Synthesis is another reason. Says left.
DeLacy, Romeo Golf, India, be aware. Weapon fire restrictions are in place in this sector.
Frameshift drive charging.
So we go to material trader number 2, and then we'll go to material trader number 3. Encoded, manufactured, then raw materials.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
This is why I'd like to have material traders on the fleet carrier. So we don't have to go anywhere. We just go to our fleet carrier and upgrade all of our modules. Still have to go out to the engineer for the experimental.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah, we didn't really want to do that, but that's okay. Says left. So this is part of the day-to-day grind, making the rounds to the material traders to move some materials around so we can use them. We have no cargo, but we could still be interdicted. Because sometimes we do, even when we don't have anything. We have no missions, no mission contracts, no cargo. Well, we only have engineer materials. And pirates can't take that. So, it's off limits. And you can't lose it if you die. It's like on a pen drive that's in your pocket. So if you die, wherever you respawn, you still have your engineer synthesis materials. Just left.
Docking request granted.
This one's number 2. And we go to Hippolyte Hub after this one. This will be the manufactured materials. And Hippolyte Hub will be the raw materials.
Landing gear deployed.
Too bad each material trader can't do all 3.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Want to go to contacts, material trader, manufactured materials, and we're going to do the same thing. That's why I like to even these out, because there's times we need them. It's probably those shield emitters that we were using up. Okay. Sys left. Plug in Hippolyte Hub, and I believe I have a bookmark for that one. Right there. We're going to plot it. 9 jumps. Oh, that's the problem. 9 jumps for the closest raw material trader.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
See where we're at. Right there.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage.
Now this would be much easier with a fleet carrier,
Frameshift
but
drive charging.
I don't want to do this in beta, because what we do in beta stays in beta. I want to do this in live. So it'll be done when we do get the fleet carrier.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And eventually we want to unlock about all of them except for the ones in Colonia. I don't really care about going. I have gone to Colonia, before I reset my account back to the beginning, and I don't want to do that again. Took like 800 jumps. Now with the fleet carrier, it wouldn't take as many. Still take about 22 jumps, but I just don't really have a reason to go do that.
Frameshift drive charging.
Assist left. 7 more jumps.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging.
Assist left. 6 more.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
We have about 5 more jumps.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And I need to come out to Hipless Hub every once in a while anyway and level those materials out. I am splitting time between the fleet carrier, my second look beta 2,
Frameshift drive charging.
and things that I'd like to do in my live account.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
And on the fleet carrier beta 2 side, by the end of the beta 2, toward the end, maybe 2, 3, 4 days before the end, you'll be able to buy a fleet carrier for 1 million. Not billion, million. So I'll let you know as soon as I hear, but check your sources too, like on Steam. A lot of times the information comes up on Steam when you go to hit the play for Elite Dangerous. It's on that page, and on the Frontiers forum and on the Steam forum.
Frameshift drive charging.
But I'll bring it to you as I hear it also. But you'll want to buy a fleet carrier for 1 million.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now the services cost additional, probably up to 500 to 700 million. You can sell assets for the services, because what you do in beta stays in beta, so it does not affect your live account. So you can sell off some of your assets to be able to really use the fleet carrier the way you might want to use it.
Frameshift drive charging.
I didn't really sell off assets, but I grinded a little bit in beta 1 because I had 6.3 billion and I needed more than 7 billion
2, 1, engage.
to buy all of the things that I needed. And I've already spent over 6 billion here in beta 2, and that's with all of the cost savings. But I did spend almost $1 billion on tritium.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, the stuck throttles. And that's supposed to be a good thing.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
An apologist needs to come on to the comments and tell me why stuck throttles is a good thing. I've never got an answer why that's a good thing. And mission critical message while you're in the trying to look at the cargo missions. Why is that a good thing? That it kicks you out of what you're looking at, throws you up to the top. Why does it do that? And why is that intended? So I need the apologist to inform me why some of this stuff is really necessary. Is this left? And why in one Super Cruise run I should get 7 interdictions? Why is that a good thing? That's another one I would like to know why. If I ever get an audience with Frontier, those are things I'm going to confront them about. Of why. Why is that such a good idea to torment your players and your paying customers? That's what I want to know. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. And to the apologist, everything is hunky-dory all the time. There's no faults. Frontier can do no wrong. And that is a matter of opinion, I tell you. I am no apologist. I am quite the contrary. I want things that are broken, I want them fixed. And I don't want to hear that garbage about it's working as intended. I don't want to hear that. That's unacceptable to me. I will never accept those things that I just mentioned. And from time to time you'll hear me rant about them. And I do not apologize for ranting things that I'm passionate about. Sis left.
Follow station protocols and enjoy your visit, Commander.
And why I'm doing this today is where I can level out all of the materials where there's at least 20 to 30 of each material. Now I won't have all of the grade 5s at 20 or 30, but as I've used up most of my materials when I purchased 3 more cutters and 3 more pythons and modded most of them to the most I currently can. Now one of the previous videos, in the last 2 or 3 videos, was unlocking Celine Jean that does armor, grade 5 armor. So we're using up some for that too.
Contact. Thrusters offline. Deploying ground services.
Okay, carbon, definitely. Vanadium. Okay. And we'll probably come out to Dav's Hope pretty soon and collect some more materials. And when we do planetary exploration around Sothis and Ceos, we wind up picking up raw materials too. Universal cartographics are now on the fleet carrier, so that's pretty nice. Sis left. Let's get back to Ceos. Okay. Go back to Babbage. It's where all my assets are in my live account, and in beta 2 they're all on the fleet carrier. At least next month they'll all be on the fleet carrier. So let's get back to Babbage.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship restraints retracted. Clear for departure.
And I need to top off all of my ships and their armor.
Frameshift drive charging.
We have like 9 jumps to go.
4, Frameshift drive charging.
This left. Is this left? Yep, we have 8. That voice attack just doesn't work like it used to.
2, 1, engage.
Can't hear much anymore.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage.
And when we get the fleet carrier in June, I'm going to park it at Dav's Hope for at least a little while to load up on materials and go bounty hunting for skimmers and stingers and things like that.
Frameshift drive charging.
And then we're going to run over to Jameson, and we might just take a ship over there. It's only like 3 jumps.
3, 2, 1, engage. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage.
I really would like to have the fleet carrier in live. So a month from now is still too long, but we'll have to deal with it. It's not cheap to operate. Every jump, no matter if it's 500 light years or 1 light year, it will cost you over $750,000 just for hull maintenance per jump.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And the fuel, tritium, is over 41,000 per ton. And you get a little over 2 light years. You get a little over 2 light years per ton. The fuel is definitely too expensive. I spent about 3 hours purchasing and transporting tritium.
3, 2, 1, engage.
From Rabingo one of the stations there over to the fleet carrier. Transferred about 16,000 tons using a cutter that has 720 cargo units. Still took about 20 loads.
Frameshift drive charging.
Mainly I just wanted to see how long and how hard it would be to do that. It wasn't easy, but it's nice having that much fuel on the fleet carrier.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And the fleet carrier is open to you if you want to go land on it. Watch my current. Well, matters how current. If you're watching the same day as I publish the video, you'll probably see it there. It's near Sothis right now as of the publication of this video.
Frameshift drive charging.
So we'll get over to Babbage, and then we'll look at each of the armor of each ship and make sure it's topped off.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
I know the cargo version of the Python has the armor that I went in the travel version to Celine jeans. And the travel, I know I maxed it out. In the mining version, I believe I maxed it out. So it's just maybe the planetary version. And then the cutters, I think all of those are going to have to be topped off. Sis left. So we'll check them out. But in June, when we go by the engineers one at a time, and we're going to take all of our ships over to the engineer one at a time, and we're going to max them out. With experimental also. Got several more invitations from other engineers after we met with Celine Jean. So I have a spiral notebook for each of the engineers, and I need to update that now and see which one we need to visit next. But as you see on that lower sensor, I like to move everything where they're beside me or in front, and I'm that dot in the center. So I can easily tell if a ship pops in right behind me, pirates with their superpowers. That's another question for the apologist. Why is it good that NPCs can pop out a thin space right behind you and do things that no other ship can do? But they have the same ships that everybody else has, but their ships have superpowers where no one else's ships do. That's another question for the apologists out there. Why is that a good thing, that they have superpowers? Since everything that Frontier does is perfect to the apologists. But see, they never answer the questions. They tell you as a command, everything's good. If you don't like it, don't play the game. That's what they always say.
DeLacy, Romeo, Golf, India. Welcome to this federal facility. Please observe all standard docking procedures.
Sis left. If every player that had a complaint just wouldn't play the game anymore, they wouldn't have very many players. I can pretty well guarantee the apologists make up less than 1% of the player base. So,
Land on pad 05. Automated docking confirmed.
so if only 1% of the players would even play the game, Frontier wouldn't make it. They couldn't survive on just the apologists. So, if we did what the apologists have told us to do, just don't play the game, well, they'd put the game that they think is perfect out of business. So it really surprises me that they use that all the time. Well, just don't play the game then. If you have even one complaint about anything. So. I have more complaints about the apologists than I even do Frontier.
Landing sequence completed. Disembark when ready.
Okay, we checked out this ship, which is the travel version. We go over to remote engineer. We hit armor, because that's the only one we're doing right now, and you can see it is maxed out with no experimental. We have to take it to the engineer to get the experimental. The Sidewinder, I even modded that one. And I hardly ever use it, but if I did, go to remote workshop. Right now we're only looking at armor, and it's almost maxed out. I mean, it takes so much material. I probably didn't have enough. At least the material traders here get tungsten. I never have enough. No matter what. Cargo version is maximized. Let's check the mining version. It's maxed out. planetary version is the one that's next for the pythons. There's a planetary. The most important one is the cargo, because it gets interdicted more than any of the other cutters. We're going to be out of materials again, which we always are. But every time we go, we'll level them out again. At least we're improving the shields on each of the ships. Probably look at the mining version next. Has the most chance of hitting something. It's definitely better than it was before we started. We only had grade 1 on them, modded. Cargo and mining are good, are well, okay. The travel. and the planetary. Maximize them as much as possible. And every time we can get to the material traders, we'll level them out again. Okay, we still have some moving of materials to do, but none of them are less than grade 3. Most of them are grade 5, and then there's a few that are grade 4 and a partial grade 5. Well, I appreciate you coming along. Make sure that you attend the next video, both for the fleet carrier and for our live day-to-day grind. So until then, look to the bottom right of the video and see that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. You're notified when I produce more videos, and it'll help me eventually with YouTube. Underneath the video in the descriptions, you'll see ways to donate. Please consider donating. And underneath the video to the left, you'll see my YouTube channel page, GFM_RDG, where there's over 650 more videos just since January. And in the About tab on the YouTube page, you'll see an email address that you could send me an email if you wish. So until next time, thank you for watching.